Alright, I wanted to talk about the Emily incident, but I don't actually want to spend too much time talking about Emily herself because I really couldn't care less about that actual part of it. So, what I mean is that, like, the fact that that guy got banned for, harassing Emily, I really don't care about because I think it's pretty apparent that he actually was harassing her. And I don't really understand why people are saying that he wasn't, other than the fact that people, like, just don't like her, which I completely understand and that's extremely legitimate, but I think you're diluting yourself if you think that he actually wasn't, like, harassing her by following her around and, like, crashing her at a bunch of different bosses and waiting until, or, like, finding out she was on the wilderness and stuff like that and killing her. Like, I think it's pretty obvious that he was specifically targeting her. But what my issue is that the manner in which Jagex handled the community feedback from this thing was entirely fucking abysmal. Like, I can't imagine that when Mod Matt K like typed out his response, he looked at it and he was like, "Yup, this is exactly how I want to come off to the players," because he sounded like a massive fucking cunt. Where he gives us another response about rules where it's like, I'm gonna give a very brief and like abstract and not very specific explanation of what this rule is and what breaking it is, and then says like, oh, more specifics we're not going to give because we want to decide on a case by case basis. But that just fucking means they're not giving us enough details to like know if our actions are like okay or not. And before any of you are gonna say like, oh, it's very easy to tell the difference between like player harassment and not player harassment. So like someone follows around Emily crashing her at bosses, right? That's player harassment. But then when people go on Bodhi's stream and they follow him around and they either crash him in the wilderness all the time or they try to find his world to mess up his slayer tasks or to slow down his cannoning or whatever they're doing, call him a ginger cunt, tell him to hang himself, call him Boto because they know he doesn't like that, then like how is that not player harassment? Like, what is the difference between those two? Is it just because Emily's a girl? Is it because Emily's asking for help where Bodhi isn't? Does that mean, like, the only time it's player harassment is if the other person actually reports you, or not even reports, but, like, directly messages Mod Matt K? Like, what is the difference between the two? We need an exact answer for what is the difference between the two. Because I think the community in general, getting real fucking tired of asking for specifics on roles and just not getting them. So, like, can you tell us exactly what constitutes a ban for AHK? Because people always say it's the one-to-one rule, but mods in the past have said, the one-to-one rule is not an entirely set in stone type deal and you can still get banned for it. So what will specifically get us banned and what won't? When we're talking about the whole buying gold thing, like a lot of us got upset because we thought Emily got special treatment. But Mod Matt K said that's how they've always done it. Well, maybe if we had known that in the first fucking place and they had made us aware, then we would know that it's not special treatment. Or like, I don't know, I'm trying to think of more things off the top of my head. I wasn't entirely prepared to make this, but like, just in general, what constitutes breaking the rules? What constitutes multi-logging, we'll say. Like, they said if you're abusing it to go for like ranks in the high score, I think was what they said was the only time they would ban you for multi-logging. So like what or how can we differentiate between regular and then non-regular multi-logging that people are going to get in trouble for? Like what specifically are they looking for in the quote unquote rule breaking? I think we need specific answers to that, and I'm getting real fucking tired of every time someone asks the question, they just read a quote off their website and then say, we're not going to give you exact details because blah blah blah, then we don't get to decide in the future. Like you can still decide in the future when ambiguous cases come up. But give us exact details, what's breaking the rules and what's not. We pay $10 fucking a month for a game that's 9 years old and we can get banned at any time because we don't know what the specific fucking rules are. Like, I don't know, I'm sure people in the comments will say like, blah blah blah, you're only doing this because you hate Emily. It's like, listen, I don't care that she faked cancer. I don't care that she bought gold. I don't care that she tries to flaunt cleavage she doesn't have to get viewers on Twitch and to get money. I don't even care that she rubs pizza all over her tits before she eats it. All I fucking care about is Mod Matt K telling us exactly what you can get banned for and exactly what you can't and what the difference between the two are in very specific terms. None of this general like player harassment is like, harassing the same player and doing it on purpose. Like, what's the difference between what happens to Bodhi and Ice Poseidon and what happens to Emily? Is it literally just the fact that Emily messages you every time someone's mean to her? So, like, when people start crashing me or whatever, like, should I just immediately message Mod Matt K and that'll get something done about it versus, like, sending in a report which nothing never seems to do anything? Like, what is it that makes what he did player harassment compared to what other people do that isn't player harassment? That's all I want to know. If they have a good answer for that and they give it to the people, then I won't be mad anymore. Like, I don't care whether or not that random guy got banned because I personally, in my opinion, that fits my definition for player harassment. But I want to know what their definition is so other people can avoid it. That's all we're asking for. And I don't think it's a very unreasonable request. But I doubt Jagex is going to release the information because chances are the entire thing is going to be if you're a female streamer and you message them and your feelings are hurt, that's player harassment. But we'll see. Maybe they'll surprise me. But this has been the Gentello Project, and I am signing off.